Okay guys, welcome to the video series on how to use your 3D printer, specifically the Creality Ender 3. This video is going to be a basic how-to, not anything in depth. This is going to be as if you were sitting here beside me and I was just talking to you as a person. So the ums and the uhs are going to be just something you're going to have to work around, as well as the dramatic pauses. The other thing with this is I'm not an expert on this. I don't claim to be an expert on this. This is going to be a simple explanation on how I figured out how to use stuff, and there's going to be a little bit of pauses whenever I have to figure something out or get my thoughts in line. So, with that 1 minute overview out of the way, let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to need is think of this like any other folder or file. We have to translate it. We have to translate what we want to how we're going to have our computer interpret it to our printer. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to a website, and this is what I use. It's called Cura Slicer, and this is our interpreter. It's a really nice program because it's been around for a while, so there's a lot of the kinks have been worked out of it, and there's a lot of videos online about it, to include this one, and how to use it, and just different tips and tricks. So this is what I recommend if you're getting started. By all means, explore your own avenues after this. But they basically talk you through it. You're downloading whatever system you're on here, so it's pretty well supported. Now, after you download it, we've got that interpreter, and we want to find something we want to print. So one of the places I like to go to is Thingiverse, and Thingiverse is basically an open source kind of place where you can look up anything. For instance, if I want to look up, you can see I looked up tool organizers. Let me look for a wrench holder. And you can see we come up with a bunch of wrench holders of all different shapes and sizes. Anything you can think of. We can go to motorcycle parts. Right? Now, Thingiverse isn't solely 3D printing. There's other formats that it covers. So you can have things like wood projects where you need to cut something out of wood, and you need to interpret that file. There's the 3D printers where it's kind of that resin tray, that upside down resin tray. All different things. So that's one thing to be aware of. Just because you see it on here doesn't necessarily mean that your printer can print it, or that it's something that is understood by your printer. So that's one reason we have the, oh, look at that, peanut valve stem covers. That's why you need to just kind of look at the stuff. Well, there's a headlight mask. So one thing I've picked out here, and I can't move that, but this 50 caliber bullet and casing, right? Something simple that I can show you guys through. Now, the nice thing about Thingiverse is that the user can upload pictures of their item. They can upload 3D models of their item, and you can even spin this around. They'll give you a brief description of what it is. Oops, thing details. And some tips and tricks that they used, what their settings are, that kind of stuff. You can also go into the files themselves. Comments, people printing things out, say, hey, I did this, I did that, this was cool, this is not, different thing like that. There's also remakes, so people can remake things. Like these guys added some awesome looking skulls to this, and yeah, so just be aware that it's something to click around. Pretty neat stuff, and it's all free, so you're going to get a lot of ads. There are some stuff where you can buy it from the creators, and yeah, so do as you please. Now, what I did is I already downloaded this, so you could download all the files here, or you could go through and pick individual things. I picked the shell casing, right? So downloaded it, and then I found the folder, and I opened it in Cura. So when you open it in Cura, it's going to go through its processes of translating it from whatever file. You mostly want to pick the STL files. That's Sierra, Tango, Lima. You want to pick those files for Cura to kind of get a knowledge of it. So let me back up one step here. So you've downloaded your file and you want to open your Cura. Now let me bring up Cura, just a blank Cura. Right. So Cura is a 3D modeling program, and it's a little bit system demanding. So things can run slow depending on your system, but just give it a little bit of time; it'll work its way out. Now, because I've already had this downloaded, all the settings are already pre in there, but I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, that when you open this up, there's not going to be any printers on file. So it's going to ask you, what printer do you have? What are the settings and things like that. It's a nice thing about Cura is you would do something along the lines of this: networked printer, or add a printer, and then you can literally go through all the manufacturers here that they support. Like, it's a lot. So each one of these is a subcategory. You go to Creality, and then there you go. Your Ender 3 version 2, Ender 3 Max, Ender 3 Pro, all that stuff. And you can see that each, there's a lot of manufacturers in here. So I've already added my Ender 3 Pro, or Ender 3 V2 in there. And what it did is it gave me the print bed that I have, and it showed me that, hey, this gray part here is the part that the print head's not going to get to. So that's something to be aware of. If you print something on here, or you import something that's too big for the print bed, it's going to show you. It'll line it out and say, hey, there's an error here. Reconsider what you're doing. But we'll get into all those settings later on and whatnot. But this is just literally like, hey, let's download something and print it. Now, going back to our 50 caliber casing, I've downloaded it here and I've put it on our print bed. I did have to rotate it. That's besides the point. But here it is on our print bed. You can see it fits within our realm, our X, Y, and Z axis here. It's not giving us any issues. I have to, yeah. So you can see our elevation's good and everything. If we weren't, and I move this down, you can see that only the top part is going to print, the bottom part will not print. Vice versa with that is we can't print in open space. So I've got our 50 caliber shell. It's in the middle. You always want to try to position stuff in the middle. That gives you the most travel of all of your axes. So right there, it's in the middle, and it'll automatically put it in there and in the middle. And I've hit slice. You can see that it's gone through its process, and what it did is it interpreted from an STL file to a G-code file. G-code is what our printer utilizes. So think of it as like it's going from German to English, because the internet is in German and then our printer is in English, and our computer is the middleman. So Cura is the middleman saying, hey, what is it? Eyes, Vies, tries. 1, 2, 3. Printer, do you understand? Got it. All right. So that's what we've got. We've got our printer, or we've got our shell casing on here. Now, since I have an SD card already in the slot, I can hit Save to Removable Drive. It tells me, hey, you've saved to your removable drive. I can open up the removable drive, and you can see right here is our G-code file. So this is the translation from the internet through Cura to our printer. Trying to open this file, it's not going to bring up anything, but you can see it's relatively small, only 3,000 kilobytes. So you can save a lot of things. One thing to be aware of when you do this is that you see the C3, E3, whatever. I like to change that when I save it, and that way when you're scrolling through your little screen there on your printer, that way it's not so hard to find, because a lot of times you'll only see the beginning part. You won't see the 50 cal shell solid on there. So just something to be aware of. That's as simple as just changing it over here, deleting it, save to removable. We open up our folder again, and there we see our 50 cal shell. So at this point, we would take our SD card out of our computer and we stick it in our printer and go through that whole process of physically printing it. So just an overview for you guys. We went through, we downloaded our Cura Slicer, we found our object, we've imported it into our translator, which is Cura. We've saved it, translated it into our G-code file, which is right here. And now our printer can understand it and print it out. Hope that helps you guys out. Sorry about all the pauses, ums, ohs, so's, that kind of stuff. But like I said, this is kind of an informal process, and I just wanted to walk you all through it to help you out in the future. You got any questions, anything like that, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to try to walk you through anything that I know. So look back for more videos. We'll go through the process of physically printing something out here in a bit. So thanks for watching.